Hey, Shalom. With Isupk started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Johanna. I'm Precinct Officer Danya Allah. This is the Wednesday night law class. If you got any questions, type them in. If not, we're gonna move on. So lock it for being late and into some difficulties, but we good now. Any questions in the room?
No.
Any questions, guys? Your mom? All right, bet. All right. Where the scripture in Exodus we're talking about the month of Abib?
Come, what?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I want to say Exodus 12.
Oh,
I think. So. No, that's it.
That's it. We're talking about the month of Abib.
But the Passover, first month of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Come. It's another one too.
Yeah, okay. This the one that say the month of Abib. Let me see. That's the one. Let me see. That's the one.
That's Deuteronomy 16:1.
Okay, I'll take that one.
And Deuteronomy and Exodus 34 and 18.
All right, 34 and 18. All right, let me see what 34 and 18 say. Mm-hmm. You said Deuteronomy what?
16:1.
All right, bet. All right, so let's start with Deuteronomy 16:1. As y'all know, Passover coming up. And this, everybody knows it's a law to keep the Passover.
Right.
Okay, so lock it. Yeah, everybody know that it's a law to keep the Passover. The Most High required us to keep the Passover because it was the time we came out of Egypt, where He delivered us out of Egypt, right? And He killed our enemies. The firstborn of everything that was living in Egypt. He split the Red Sea. It was a lot of miracles that came out of that time. So the Most High set it up for us to remember it. So what we're gonna do, because it's the law class, we're gonna go into it. All right, if you could read Deuteronomy 16:1 for me.
Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 1. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God.
Observe the month of Abib. Right? Who know what Abib means? Let's actually look it up. Let's get the dictionary. Let's look it up.
Mm-hmm. This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 13. Abib, the pre-exilic name for the first month of the year.
Right. So the Abib is the first month of the year. right? So the Passover will fall in the first month of the year, according to the scriptures. Read.
Con. After the exile of the name, so like after exile, the name was changed to Nisan. It fell about the time of March and early April.
Right. So if we was to find out when the month of Abib would be, it will fall around March, early April. That's why sometimes, the Passover will be in March or it'll be in April. I remember one time when the Passover was like around March 24th or something. And then I know a lot of times where the Passover fell in April 12th, April 15th, 4th. It really depends, of course, because it really goes off of the moon. The moon tell a time and it tell a days and it tell a seasons, right? So you would know what season you in. You look up at the moon and you'll be able to tell when it's the first month of the year. And based off of that, that's how we knew, okay, the first month of the year because of the weather and how things is feeling and looking. So we know that just the first day of the first month of the year, 14 days after this, will be Passover. Is there any more?
That was it, sir.
That was it. All right, so let's get Exodus, I believe it's 23 and 5.
Oh, sorry. There was more on 16, sir.
It was more. All right, you can read 16.
Con. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 1. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the For in the month of Abib, the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night.
Right. In the first month of the year, that's when the Lord brought us out of Egypt. So because of that, it's a time to be remembered. So you got to keep it as the Passover. When the Lord passed over the children of Israel and killed our enemies. So the Lord requires us to keep it forever. Ever and ever. And we always want to keep the Passover. Christ kept the Passover. It was always traditional. So the Most High require us to keep it. Is there any more?
That was it on that, sir.
That was it. All right, let's go to Exodus 23 and 3. If anybody online got a question, type in your questions now.
The Exodus 23 and 3, sir.
Salakia, Leviticus 23 and 3.
Con. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest.
6 days you should do work. The seventh day is the Sabbath. We are familiar with that. Read on.
Con. A holy convocation. You shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
Right. So these are the feasts, and there's holy convocations the Lord requires you to claim in their seasons. Meaning, when it's time for the Passover, the Lord requires you to keep it.
Right.
The Lord say the Passover is the first day. No, is the first month, the 14th day of the first month. If we would go off of the calendar that America used, they would consider that to be around March, April.
Right.
It could change. And they even tell you that. They even know. There's calendars out there that keeps up with the time frame that we kept. They tell us and they know that's part of the reason we know Passover is around the time it is, right? Around late March, early April, depending on, right? It changed, right? Which is, I was on my Instagram and I came across, I forgot what camp it was. It was one of them fake Israelite groups. And they Passover was like 3 days ago. And I'm sitting here like, damn. Like, how in the hell they get that? Like, all it takes is a little research and you can find out. a little research, a little looking up, and you can find out that Passover is in late March or early April. But it's like, okay, the fact that Passover could be in March and they having it in March, or could be in April and they having it in April, how in the hell y'all get this day though? Like, how could April 5th be the 14th day of the first month? Like, I'm just curious to find out how you came up with that. And I'm starting to believe that a lot of them is just guessing, and they don't want to. For them to have the Passover on the same day as we having it is like them admitting that we're right at something.
Mm-hmm.
So if you claim we don't got the truth and the Lord is not with us and we're not right at anything, for us to have the Passover the same day y'all have it, it's like, okay, we got something right. So it's almost like they just do it whenever the hell they could, or they just pick a day and keep the Passover. You know, some of them believe they don't even have to keep the Passover because they ain't in the Holy Land. But it's just like, go ahead.
I was to say, well, people, if I could, sir, which is asinine to think when they say, well, you know, we can't keep the Passover, you diet, y'all, I should not, because we not in our land. Well, where was we when we kept the Passover the first time? Where were we when we kept the Passover in Babylon?
Right.
Most of the Passovers we had, sir, was not in our land.
Damn near every Passover, half all the high holy days we kept wasn't in our land. The scriptures tell you that the reason the 10 tribes flee to Asherah was so they can keep the Lord's laws and high holy days. So we flee to another land, which was America, to keep the Lord's laws, and if we flee to keep his laws, the laws say keep the Passover. But that's just them not knowing something, and they won't admit they don't know it, so they just make an excuse on why they don't do it. Right. Which is just crazy to me. So the Lord say, you know, on the 14th day of the first month, keep the Passover. Let's read on.
Come. And the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover.
Now, at evening meaning sundown, which is why the Passovers always starts around 6, 7 o'clock, depending on where we at. If we was in New York, Lord will, we probably had a Passover in New York next year because they lifted the mandates. So, you know, Lord will. But if not, wherever we at, I think Florida might be, what, an hour back or an hour ahead?
Same time.
Oh, it's the same time?
Same time.
Atlantic time.
Oh, so Florida is the same time as this. That's okay. So
like as you go west, it goes an hour, then it goes 2 hours. So LA is like 4 hours behind LA.
Okay, got you. I thought Florida was considered the South. That's the South, right?
Florida's the South, but we still on the
okay, but right. Houston considered the South, but it's still further out.
Yeah.
Which okay, I got you.
Because Houston's the South, but it's further west.
Right. Okay, I get what you're saying now. Right. So, hold on. Right. So, this year Passover starts sundown, which would whatever time it is in Florida, which could be 7, 7:30, 7:45. So at evening, right? Because that's how the Lord do the days, evening to evening. That's how he counted or whatnot. Let's read on.
Come. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord.
Right, and on the 15th day, meaning the next day at evening would be considered the feast of unleavened bread. So Passover this year would be, it's the 14th, right? April 14th.
Come.
April 14th sundown to April 15th sundown. And the Feast of Unleavened Bread is April 15th sundown until a week after that. Read on.
Go. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
7 days ye must eat unleavened bread, which is rough. Only reason why I say it's rough because you start to find out a lot of the stuff you eat or a lot of the stuff you like have leaven in it. You got to get rid of it, and it's rough. Every year is always rough because I might discover some new dishes, new food, or something like that I like, just to come to find out that it's leaven in it, and I can't eat it for a week. It'd be rough. Like, now, one thing I do know that Crown Fried Chicken it don't got no leaven in it. So,
Right.
So that thing is cool. I believe KFC might have. I think KFC is off limits. Popeyes is off limits. Of course, pizza is off limits. Anything that say like Lebanon abstract, that's cool. Because Lebanon abstract, anything abstract is just flavor. They use it for flavor. Go ahead.
So like on the 15th of April in Florida, the sun was set 7:44.
So that's when Feast of Unleavened Bread will start. More than likely, it's probably the same for the 14th. Probably around 7:30ish, 7:40ish. So that's when Passover gonna start. Look, well, and that thing rocking, and it's gonna be in the damn near 90s. It's gonna be rough. Go ahead.
April 15th.
It's the 15th?
No,
it's the
no,
14th.
it is the 15th.
It is the 15th?
Because the 14th is the trial. Yeah, 15th is the trial.
Oh,
Yeah, 15th. Yeah, Passover is that Friday.
Is that Friday?
Yeah, come. Passover.
Oh, yep. So it's the 15th. All right. So okay. So Passover starting around 7.
7:45.
Right. Okay. Sundown don't mean like if you look outside now, that's the sun is down, right? But sundown meaning like the sun starts to set and come out the sky. Okay, 7:45, the sun shouldn't be in the sky like at all. It'll look like this. But sundown meaning when the scriptures say you unclean till sundown, when you look it up and it say sundown is at like 7:30, really the sun starts to move out the sky around 7 o'clock-ish, 7:10, right? So sundown don't mean you have to wait until the sun is out the sky. Sundown is if I can look up and still see the sun, then it's not sundown. But if the sun go from here and I can look up and see and it's right here, it's sundown. So you clean. Yeah. A lot of brothers think it gotta be dark outside in order for it to sundown. Nah, sundown is the sun going down. So when the sun going down, so if 5 o'clock I look up, I see the sun shining bright, I'm still unclean. But if 7:30 I look up and the sun is here, then I'm clean. Go ahead.
So you mean when you mean sundown, when the sun's not at its highest point?
Yeah, when the sun is not in its highest point, when the sun not in the sky. So you can still see the sun, which go from here to here. If the sun go from here to here, you're clean, right? But if you look up and the sun is here, if it says sundown 7:45, if you look up 7:30 and the sun go from here to here, you clean. By 7:45, the sun is here. It's not in the sky. But sundown, meaning when the sun is going down, you're clean. So a lot of brothers would, oh, the sun say 7:45. Right, but you clean around like 7:20, 7:30. All you gotta do is just come outside, look up. Oh, I don't see the sun. I'm clean. When it starts to get dark. Right. That's when you clean. So the sun don't have to be completely down and it's dark outside. That's what it means. And the funny thing is, right, I found that out, right, one year when I was doing, it was the Day of the Atonement. I probably was like a year or two in the truth, and I was doing the Day of Atonement. And I was, it was kicking my ass, excuse my language. I was suffering. And I remember calling Cat, like, hey, Cat, when can I eat? What time? You know, I think I got like 15 minutes left. But as I'm saying 15 minutes because the sun went down at like, well, let's say 7:45. It's 7:30 right now. And he was like, okay, nah, the sun is going down. You good. The sun is not in the sky no more. The sun is going down. You're clean. No, not you're clean. He was like, okay, it's over. You can eat. And I was like, word? He was like, yeah, okay. Can you see the sun? And I was like, nah, it's getting dark. It's shady. And he was like, right. It don't mean the sun can't be in the sky. If can you see the sun? And I was like, He was like, exactly. It go from here to here, and you cool. Go from here to all the way under here. So he was like, no, we good now. 7:30. The sun ain't up in the sky. And then he explained it. And I was like, oh, wow. I was like, wow. But that's with that. Now, sometimes like for the Day of Atonement, I do a full 24. So I look at whatever time I stop eating. So if sundown at 7:30 and I stop eating at 7, or no, sundown at 7:30, yeah, and I stop eating at like 7:15, 7:20, then if sundown 7:30 the next day, then I would say about, yeah, like if it's 7:30, 7:20, 7:15, then I can start eating. But I give it to, if I stop eating 7:30 Monday and I got the Day of Atonement, so Tuesday 7:30 I would eat. That's when I would break it, even if sundown is at 7:20. That's just how I do it. So sundown 7:20, but I stop eating 7:30 Monday, then I won't eat till 7:30 Tuesday. Even though sundown would be 7:20, I could have been ate at 7 o'clock. But that's just me doing it. Like, yeah, to be crazy. But yeah, sundown don't mean how it looks outside. That don't mean it's sundown. Like it's completely dark. Sundown is the sun go from here to it's down here. Like that's what sundown means. But is it any more?
Relax.
All right. Is any questions online?
No questions online.
No questions? All right, that. All right, so I'm gonna get into a little topic, right? I wanted to bring out a story that I had came across. If I sent it to your phone, if you could pull it up right on YouTube, if you could play it for the people so they can hear it. This is a story called The Kissing Case. I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with it. Let me get the exact date that it happened. All right, The Kissing Case, 1958, when the kissing case happened, right? It was James Thompson and David Simpson. They was at a park. Of course, we're gonna play the video so it can explain it and tell some of the things that happened. Two black boys that was at a park, playing. There was a white girl there. The two black little boys end up kissing the white girl on the cheek, on each side of the cheek. The little white girl went home, told her mom, and the way the parents reacted is, and how they was treated is why I want to play this video. Like it shows the segregation, right? It shows why that's necessary, right? It shows what Martin Luther King came to do, why it's so evil. Stuff like this shows why it's important and it is necessary for us to be holy and to separate.
Right.
Because of stuff, things like this that was going on amongst us. You can play this.
One evening in October of 1958, there were two black boys and some white girls and boys playing in a vacant lot in Monroe, and on toward evening, a kissing game ensued. Someone kissed someone.
Well, nobody seen.
The
Girl just made a casual remark to her mother.
That's the problem. Now they just said that they was at like a vacant lot or something and they was playing, right? Run it back like 10 seconds. Yeah, right there is pretty good. Right there. Yep.
It's someone.
Run it back like 5 more seconds.
Well, nobody.
Yep.
One evening in October of 1958, there were two black boys and some white girls and boys playing in a vacant lot in Monroe, and on toward evening, a kissing game ensued. Someone kissed someone.
Now you can pause it just to chase it. Now, they was out playing. The little black boys kissed the white girl, right? And that's cool. All right, you can play it.
Come.
Girl just made a casual remark to her mother that she had kissed Hannah. And then the mother got all excited and started scrubbing the face and called her father, and he threatened to kill him, and got his shotgun.
The police was looking for them too.
Listen, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it just said that the little girl went home and told her mother what happened. The mother got her excited, meaning she got pissed. The mother got all mad and put the little girl in the tub. She started washing the little girl up. Right? She started washing her up, started scrubbing her. Then she called the dad and told the dad that 2 little black boys kissed her. So the dad got mad, went grabbed his shotgun, and wanted to go find the little boys and kill them. Play.
They found the 2 little boys, arrested them, beat them, locked them in the basement of the jail for 6 days without being able to see their parents or talk to an attorney.
Pause.
Terrified.
Now, the parents reported it to the police, right? They reported it to the police. The police went and found the little boys, right? It was another video that I wanted to play because it was more detailed. And what they explaining, the other video I had that I'm gonna have to find, actually go into details. So what happened is the little girl went home and told her parents about what happened at the park. The mom got mad, the dad got mad. They called the police and told the police that their daughter was raped. How their daughter was raped? She was kissed unwillingly. So the police took the little girl and the parents and went and searched for the little boys who kissed her. They found the little boys, 2 black little boys, arrested them for 6 days. Didn't allow their parents to see him, didn't allow anyone in their family to see him, and they also didn't even allow an attorney to talk to him. So if they had a lawyer, the lawyer wasn't even allowed to talk to him. And they put them under the jail for kissing a little white girl. Read.
It so happened that Halloween, it was October 28th, and then on Halloween, the police officers put on sheets and came down into the basement of the jail where the children were being held, thinking it would be real fun.
This happened around October 28th. So they put them in around Halloween, October 31st, the police went into the cells, right? They put on sheets because they wanted to go scare the little boys. Why do you think they put on sheets? That's why.
Because they racist.
But what?
Wait, because they were part of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah. Why they put on sheets? They put sheets on. Yeah. They went in there as the Klan and probably tried to make it look like that they was ghosts. Went in there, they put on sheets. They could have came in there as a monster, dressed up as a monster. It's Halloween.
Right.
They could have put on any costume, but they put on sheets. At that time, them little boys knew what them sheets meant. These were some racist white mother that was coming to kill us. And they decided to go into the jail cell and scare them. And to scare them off of kissing the devil. You can play?
Okay.
And he terrified them because the children knew that the Klan was outside calling for their blood.
Pause. Now this isn't the video that I saw. This is a different video, but he just said what we just explained. They put on sheets and went there to scare. Run it back like 5 seconds, Bubba Kashaw. They put on sheets to scare these little boys because these little boys knew the Klan was outside of the prison waiting for them because everybody heard what happened. You can play?
Funny, terrified them because the children knew that the Klan was outside calling for their blood.
Run it back like 10 more seconds.
The basement of the sheets and came. It was October 28th, and then on Halloween, the police officers put on sheets and came down into the basement of the jail where the children were being held, thinking it would be real funny to terrify them because the children knew that the Klan was outside calling for their blood.
Pause. It's Halloween, and they put on sheets. The children can hear and they know the Ku Klux Klan is outside of the prison calling for them to die because they heard what happened. So the police thought it would be funny to put on sheets on Halloween and go scare them. Why did they put the sheets on Halloween? They could have put it on the 29th, the 30th, the 1st. They could have put it on any day. Why did they pick Halloween to put the sheets on and go scare them? That's your mom?
They probably put it, okay, I'm just speculating, but they put it on so it wouldn't seem like they was trying to be what they really are.
Right. You pick a day like Halloween, nobody can say you was racist. Hey, we dressed up as the Klan and scared them. We not really racist because you can't be a police officer and be a Ku Klux Klan member. So, hey, we just dressed up. We thought it was funny. And they was able to get away with that because it's Halloween. And the kids hear the Ku Klux Klan as they being walked into the precinct and everything. It's white Ku Klux Klan members out there calling for these little boys to be put to death. So the police at the time thought it would be funny to dress up as Ku Klux Klan members and go into the jail cell and scare them. As if the Klan members broke into the prison and now we're here to kill you. Play?
Cover gun.
Man, people that they just couldn't expect to cross the color line effect.
There were two separate hearings, one for the white families and one for the black boys. And then the local judge sentenced the boys to reform school for a period not to exceed their 21st birthday. Now they were 8 and 10 years old.
They was 8 and 10. It was 8 and 10 at the time this happened. And they sent them away to make sure that they wouldn't even be able to enjoy their 21st birthday. Off of a kiss, they were sent away for about like 12, 13 years to reform school. Off of a devil being mad that their son kissed him. Now, they shouldn't have kissed him. They shouldn't have kissed that devil. But because they did, the devil was getting them charged with rape. And they spent years in that prison. Go ahead, play. That's what I got.
Kind of a one-man press off. That's for the kissing case. And he managed to get this out on the front pages of newspapers all over the world.
And this is in North Carolina.
The bad publicity really forced Hodges to intervene and release the boys after only 4 months. Hodges made a big show of how they had now been rehabilitated. One of the important things about the kissing case is that it brings Rob to a kind of national and even international recognition.
Man, I wish I'd have found the video that I had, because the brothers who actually went through it actually spoke on it, and they were speaking on, you know, with the experience, their time in that jail cell, the things that they had to go through. Right? Give me Deuteronomy 7:3, Brother Bashar.
Go.
Is this much?
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
The Lord knew what he was doing and knew what he was saying when he told us not to deal with the heathens. Right? And these was laws he set in place. And he made it very clear. Don't give your daughters unto their sons. Don't make marriages with them, because it never makes out the water. Because it never turns out how you think it's going to turn out. It's always going to be something bad. Go ahead.
Come. Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Don't even take his daughter, right? Even if it's his daughter. Don't even take his daughter. And don't give his daughter unto your son. Read.
Come, verse 4. But they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods.
Because doing so, it'll turn away your son. The perfect example would be who? So go ahead.
Any basketball, football player, Kanye West?
Kanye, all the basketball. And give me somebody in the Bible.
Samson.
Samson. Who else? Solomon. They listen. Give me that scripture, Bubba Kashaw. Where it say for
13 and 27.
13:27. The water. Book of Nehemiah.
Comes. The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 20. So I'm going to start at verse 26. Book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Did not Solomon, read one verse up.
Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 25. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves.
Man, the Lord destroyed them and made them make a promise that they would not give their sons to their daughters and their daughters to their sons, which was the other nations. He made Israel promise that they wouldn't give their kids up to marry these other nations, because it was against his law. And also, not only was against his law, something happened that they should have learned from. Read.
Verse 26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Solomon, the king of Israel, sent by those things. What did he do? Solomon had heathen wives.
Right.
And because he had heathen wives, he started worshiping their God. Because the power that a woman has, the Lord understood that this is why you shouldn't deal with heathens. Because the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to end up following whatever they believe.
Mm-hmm.
And Solomon had a bunch of heathen wives. And because of that, Solomon sinned. He sinned by having those heathen wives. And what's the sin? By having them heathen wives, and then he started following their gods. Read.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him.
But there, amongst many nations, there was no king like Solomon. Solomon was that bold. There was no king like him. There was no king like him, but he still felt weak to a woman that was, to women that was heathens, right? And sidebar too, that's where they get that Ethiopian Jew from.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will run with that term that they are Jew and they be Ethiopian. They believe that they're Jews and they're Ethiopian because they believe Solomon slept with Queen Sheba. And their reasoning to believe in Solomon slept with Queen Sheba, because he had so many wives, they think Solomon was just this horny nigga running around sleeping with anybody. So when Sheba came to him to get some wisdom, they believe he had to sleep with her because Solomon had so many women and he couldn't keep his rod in his pants. And they believe that because him and Sheba dealt with each other, that they're considered Jews, Ethiopian Jews, which is all BS. Nowhere in the scripture say that he slept with Sheba.
Right.
None of that. That's all theory. And I believe that might be in the Book of Mormons or it's in one of those books that didn't make the Bible. But Solomon did have heathen wives, and it made him fall weak.
Right.
And Nehemiah is using an example. You know, didn't Solomon die because of this? Read on.
Who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel.
The Lord loved Solomon and made him king over all Israel, and still killed him for what he did. Read.
Nevertheless, even did outlandish women cause to sin.
Outlandish women, these heathen women cause him to sin. Read.
Verse 27. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our God in marrying strange wives?
Now, should now we follow after you to do evil? What's the evil? It's like it's 7:30, so if you got route, you can route.
Come.
Go ahead, Yashima.
The evil would be not following, the evil would be actually following them and not.
It say what the evil is.
Oh, the evil is marrying one of them heathens.
Marrying them. The Lord considered marrying a heathen evil. So how can they say we wrong about being against interracial marriages? When the Lord say it's evil to marry a strange woman and to follow their God. The Lord considered heathen women strange women. Why do he consider them strange? Think of the word strange. The Lord considered heathen, he called heathen women strange. Why is that?
Weird.
Mm-mm.
So they don't follow the laws that.
Nope. They're strange women.
Oh, they're not Israel.
Yeah, we don't know them. You strange. What are you doing? You see somebody you see somebody that's not from your neighborhood and in your neighborhood out of nowhere just chilling and you looking like, who is this? You looking at them strange, like, who is that?
Right.
You're not from around. You're not my people. You're not my people. You're not from around here. Who are you? I don't know you. That's how the Lord look at heathen women. Heathen women are strange women. It's strange for you to sleep with a heathen woman.
Right.
The Lord is looking at her like, yo, it's strange for you to sleep with her. Who is that? Why are you sleeping with somebody that's not of your family? That's a strange woman.
Right.
She's in your land. Look at it like, what the Lord call a person that's not from your land? A stranger. Why he call them if a stranger sojourning amongst you? Why he call them a stranger? Because they're not from where you at. They strangers. You go into a neighborhood you ain't from and you lost. You're a stranger. Yo, I don't know where the hell am I at. Yo, I seen this stranger earlier and he was lost. You're a stranger. So the Lord calling these heathen women strangers because why would you marry someone who your family don't know? Your family don't know a Moabite. Who the hell is that? That's why the point that Yediah brought up earlier was heavy, right? Meaning this, with the football players. Football players, basketball players get these big contracts and they bring home white women. I'll give you a perfect example. My grandfather, may he rise again. He was old enough and he lived through a lot of the times where they had to deal with racism, laughing barrels, fighting on the way home from school. And every now and then he would tell us stories. So me not being in the truth, I would listen to his stories and I wouldn't think nothing of it. But as I got older and came in the truth, I started to want to finally listen to his more stories now and use them as examples. So my brother that's in the world, he got a rib and he had like 3 kids from her. He had 3 kids by her, right? So one day we all go over my grandmom and grandfather's house for Thanksgiving. Mind you, I'm in the world. And we all bring our whoever we was dealing with at that time. And he bought his white woman. My grandfather lost it. He lost it. Mind you, this like 2008, 2009. He lost it. The fuck you bringing this fucking devil around my house for? This racist. He lost it. He lost it. They had to calm him down, tell him, chill. She a part of the family. That's his rib and everything. Man, he lost it. And then he explained why he lost it. Because he remembered the times where if she would have brought him home to her family back in the 50s, he would have died.
Right.
And he witnessed his friends dying for dealing with them and for sleeping with them and their families finding out. And I'm talking kids and coming and killing them. And he held that in his heart to the day he died. He could not stand white people. And as I came into the truth, I love having a conversation with him because he told me a bunch of stories. And when I talked to Cap Hamakabov too, Cap Hamakabov told me some of the same stories on what he had to deal with back in the day. My grandfather a little older, so he told me about times before that, about West Philly, Southwest, and how it was. And he held in his heart to the day he died, he couldn't stand white people. Like even with him dealing with my brother bringing his rib over to Thanksgiving, it was like like he didn't trust her. He like, y'all trust her, but I don't. Like she getting up, she gotta use the bathroom. Somebody go up there with her. Make sure she don't go in my room. Like he made her feel uncomfortable. She spent one Thanksgiving with us, and that was it. And her reason was, your grandfather he think I'm racist, and he made her feel. Listen, that's how he was. So like, you have your hand up.
Yeah, what makes me so heavy about that, like a lot of older brothers recognize that. Like, I look at Serena Williams and Venus Williams' father, King Richard. Like they nicknamed the brother King Richard. He said it, like he didn't go, and Serena was upset that he didn't go to her wedding. And he ended up telling her, like, yo, the white man is my enemy and I'm his. I've witnessed my friends die. Like, older brothers can tell you that. Like, boy, don't you know that, you know what I mean, if you kissed a little white girl in the park, it would put you in jail for 6 days, send you to reform school. And that's the nice things they do to you.
That's the nice things. Go ahead.
If I may too, like that's so heavy because like we like black men that's like to this world today, like as of now, they don't remember like being with a white woman back then is a death sentence. Like it's over. Like they caught them
It's a
Mississippi,
trophy now. Yup.
Tennessee, like Midwest, Arkansas, all that with a white woman, and you thinking that y'all a happy couple, they'll kill you and keep her alive.
And her story would be he kidnapped me and held me, and she'd be right off. So listen, it's rough. It's rough. They're strange. My brother bringing that devil into the house was considered strange to my grandfather. She was strange. What is she doing around here? What are you doing? Why is she here? Everybody else, wives that they bring in is black. What the hell are you doing? And he couldn't stand it, and I didn't understand because I was so young. And then I came into the truth, and I start to understand it. And he lived through some stuff where it's like if me dying feeling the way I feel is wrong in God's eyes, I'm cool with that. That's how much he hated white people.
Man.
He hated white people with dying knowing that if God against me for hating them, I'm cool with dying hating them, knowing that I'm dying God against me for how I feel. That's how much he hated them. Like, can you imagine someone dying feeling like, well, look, if God hate me, if God against me for hating white people, then I'm cool with God being against me. I'm cool with possibly not making it into heaven for hating them because of what I witnessed when I was young. That's some heavy. That's heavy.
Because who don't want to go to heaven, right? Who doesn't want to go to heaven, right?
Who don't want to go to heaven? He wants to go to heaven.
Right.
But if what stopped me from getting into heaven is hating them, I'm willing to die and not getting into heaven because I hate them. And I always felt like, yo, that is so heavy that he's willing to burn in hell forever because they hated him. That is rough, man. That is rough. And it shows you why the Lord says, you know, we shouldn't deal with the Edomites. We shouldn't deal with other nations, period. Right? If y'all got any questions or anything, make sure y'all type them questions in, man. Type them questions in. Let's get it rocking. But yeah, man, Lord God, man, that's time for one. I got a ton of stories I could tell y'all from me talking to, you know, my older family, based off of what they witnessed from them being young and how things are now, you know. And it helps understand more why the Lord say, don't give your sons and your daughters over to them. If you could you pick up in Deuteronomy where the brother left off? I think he was at 73. But it helps. Yeah, I mean, listen, it helps. It helps better okay, that's why the Lord says, you know, don't give your daughters and your sons up to them.
In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3, neither shall thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters shall not, thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his sons, nor his daughters shall not take unto them thy sons.
Right. Don't give your daughters unto them, and don't give your sons unto them. Read.
Verse 4, for they will turn away thy sons from you following me,
Right. Read.
that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Now, because you're dealing with them, it'll cause you to turn away from the Lord and start following other gods, which is just going to make the Lord angry. Read.
Verse 5, but thou shalt ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groans.
Right. Listen. Destroy their altars, break down their images, just destroy them as a nation. Talk about the heathens. Read.
And burn their grave images with fire. Verse 6, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Because you are holy people unto the Lord thy God. Do me a favor. Give me Ezra 9, verse 12. Yeah, EZRA. 9, verse 12.
In the book of Ezra, chapter 9, verse 12. Now, therefore, give not your daughters unto their sons, neither take.
Go up to the 11, verse 10. Go up to verse 10.
Okay.
Is any questions online that you see? No questions? All right, bet you can read the scripture.
Okay, Ezra, Ezra chapter 9, verse 10. And now, O our God, that what shall we say after this? For we have forsaken thy commandment.
What shall we say after this? Because we forsaken your commandments. Read.
Verse 11. Which thou haste the commandment by thy servants, the prophets.
Right. The commandments you have commanded by your servants, which are the prophets. Read.
Saying, the land unto which we go to possess it is an unclean land.
The land we go to possess is an unclean land. Read.
With the
filthiness
of the people of the land.
Now, all right, read on.
With their abomination, which have filled it from one end to the other, with their uncleanliness.
Now, this land is an unclean land. The land you sent us to possess is an unclean land. Why? Because the people that live in the land are sinners, and they are unclean, and they are wickedness, and the things that they're doing is making a land unclean. Read on.
Verse 12.
And because these people are so unclean and they are wicked, you put us in this land. So what would happen when we have kids and we want to have grandkids? They can't mingle with these people because for one, they heathen and they wicked as hell, and the land is polluted. Read.
Now therefore give not your daughters unto their sons.
Now, don't even give your daughters to their sons. Don't even say, hey, look, I got a daughter for your son. Your son need a wife? Oh, I got the perfect daughter for him. Read.
Neither take their daughters unto your sons.
Don't even, if they offer their daughters for your sons, don't even do it.
Nor seek their peace of their wealth or forever.
This is heavy, right? This is why this is heavy, because this is how the marriage, according to America's system, came about. The Bible is saying, don't seek their wealth. It's a do not seek their peace or their wealth, right? Because a person might be so wealthy and so rich and can cause a lot of peace to your life, that don't mean you should give your son or your daughter to them. Because that don't be the case most of the time. Do not seek their peace or their wealth. Don't because this person is so rich, you're willing to give your daughter or your son up to them. Even though they're a heathen, but they're so rich. Nah, the Lord don't give a damn about that. Don't even do that. Read.
That ye may be strong and eat the good of the land.
So do this so you can be strong and you can eat the good of the land. Meaning the good that the land produces, all the good fruits and good vegetables. You'll get the best of it if you just stand strong with the Lord. That's all that matters. Read.
And leave it for an inheritance to your children forever.
It'll be so much land you will leave it until inheritance unto your children. Your children will get what you leave behind because you stood strong with the Lord and got what He blessed you for. He blessed you with with the land, and it's so much that you'll be able to leave unto your children forever. Read.
Verse 3. Now, therefore, let us make a covenant with our God to put.
What verse you at?
Verse 3.
9 and what?
Ezra 10 and 3.
Oh, okay. All right, you at 10 and 3. All right, bet. Go ahead.
The book of Ezra, chapter 10, verse 3.
No, I skipped
the whole thing. Verse 13. And after all that is upon Ezra chapter 9, verse 13. And after all that is come upon us for our evil deeds and for our trespasses, seeing that thou our God has punished us less than our iniquities deserve.
Now, based off of the evil deeds we did and the great trespass, meaning we did some evil things to people. We did some evil things. And we didn't sin greatly. We didn't sin badly to the point that the trespass the punishment the Lord putting on us is way less than what we deserve. Like the stuff we did, the punishment the Lord has given us is way less than what we should be dead right now. And the fact that we not dead, the Lord is punishing us way less than we deserve. Like, so I done did some things in my life and then I'm complaining about what I'm going through, the Lord kicking my ass. Honestly, the punishment He's giving me is far less worse than what I deserve because I should be dead right now because I done did a lot of things that deserve death according to the law. But the fact that I'm not dead and I'm just going through this or going through that, I take it. I'll take it because I know I'm being punished for robbing and stealing and sleeping with another man's wife or committing murders and all that. I know the punishment for that is death. But the fact that I'm going through my family not talking to me, financial situations, I'll lose my phone or something, anything. anything that's other than death, I take it because I know the end results of what I committed is death. I would take it because the punishment the Lord given me is far less than what I deserve, by far, and I'm thankful for that. Read on.
And he's given us such deliverance as this. Verse 14. Should we again break thy commandments?
Now, because this is happening, should we break the Lord's commandments now? Because he had mercy on us now? Because I worshiped another God and he didn't kill me. Should I go smoke a cigarette? Because he didn't kill me when I worship another God. So smoking a cigarette is death worthy. So does that mean I should smoke a cigarette? Maybe he had the same mercy on me. No. Maybe he just had mercy on you for that time. You don't want to find out if the Lord going to have the same mercy on you for this sin as the same as that sin. You don't want to. Go ahead.
You smoke a cigarette now, you mess around and catch cancer. Or
this cigarette might be cancer.
Or you could be smoking a cigarette across the street, get hit by a truck.
Or you could feel like, damn, I'm a homosexual. I ain't gonna be a homo no more. And then you say, let me give it another shot. And then that another shot be the AIDS. Or, damn, I'm smashing such and such wife. I ain't gonna smash it no more because I found out it's wrong. The Bible say it's wrong. All right, before I leave her alone, let me get one more smash out of her. And that time is when her husband finally walked through that door. Not only you skilled in fighting, he beat your ass and then killed you. You skilled in fighting, but for some reason he just beat the hell out of you and then he killed you. Yo, let me get one last. Or I know selling drugs is wrong. Let me make this one last transaction. That one last transaction, now you end up in jail. You've been selling drugs for 15 years, never got locked up. That one last transaction, now you in jail for 20 years. Because when you found out it was wrong, all right, I'm gonna leave it alone. All right, but let me make this one last play. That one last play is gonna land you in jail for 20 years. That one last play. Yeah, because the Lord showed you mercy those times, but the Lord is not going to show you mercy the other times. Or he might not show you mercy the other times. It's really up to the Lord. He had mercy on who he had mercy on. Do you want to tempt the Lord thy God and find out? Hell no. Is there any questions online?
But there is some comments.
What's the comments?
My family, brother in class, he said, my family very much wanted to be this kind melting pot integration family. I never got to understand how problematic it would be. People are until it comes true. Then he said, as I got older, I would hear stories about Crown Heights riots in Brooklyn, and all the racial conflict happening in the 90s. Yeah.
Listen, that's a fact.
Definitely.
You'll hear about this stuff because we living in times where they try to water down stuff to make people come together more and want to be under this,
unity.
Yeah, this human race, we all one unity type bull crap. So the laws is more different now as time go on, but in all reality, can you imagine your grandfather who witnessed his friend hold a white girl hand and die for it. And then now, 30, 40 years later, he's seeing black people hold white people hands. That's rough. It's rough. Some of them rather go into the grave hating them, even if it costs them their ticket in heaven.
That's hard.
Listen, listen, man. I pray that my grandfather come back and be reincarnated in this truth, man. In this truth, you know, it was sad that his last days coming. I was just coming in the truth and whatnot. And I wish that I could have had more conversations with him, but I know the Lord. Listen, I pray to the Lord that He bring him back in His truth, man. You know. But it ain't no questions online, right?
My answer.
All right, let me get one more scripture. Let me get one more scripture and end it off with. And if anybody online got any precepts, type it in. I mean, chip in. Got any precepts and all that? Type it in. All right. Okay. Separation. All right, give me oh, this is two good ones. Give me First Esdras 9 and 9. That's what we're going to end it off with.
Oh, that's in the In the book of First Esdras, chapter 9, verse 9. And do His will, and separate yourselves from the heathens of the land, and form their strange women.
Now, separate yourself from the heathens of the land and separate yourself from the strange women. The Lord it's been in the Bible for thousands of years, and this is what the Lord been telling us: to separate ourselves from their women, separate ourselves from them. We shouldn't even be in the same neighborhood playing with their kids. That's strange. That's a strange thing. It's like you living in the ghetto and seeing a oppressor jog through your neighborhood 3:30 in the morning when there's killing going on outside, there's war outside, and you see an oppressor jog through. You like, man, what the hell is he doing? That's strange. We shouldn't be amongst them. They should live in their neighborhood, in their land, and we should live in ours. But what happens when we live amongst them? We give our daughters and our kids unto them because we look at it like it's a ticket out. And the Lord tell us not to do that. Read on.
Sir. Verse 10. Then cried the whole multitude, and say with a loud voice, like as thou hast spoken, so will we do. Verse 11. But for what?
Listen, that might be it on it. I think that get the point. It ain't no questions online.
My answer.
All right. Come on, y'all be tuning in, man. Get the questions together, man. I understand y'all just want to tune in for class and just to get into the topic, but come with some questions. Let me get a time check.
901, sir.
901. All right, bet. All right, so with that, pass the class off to Precinct Officer Yashamar.
Give Officer Daniela a hand for holding out the class. As usual. Very nice brother right there. That's the Isupk security announcements. We're the Isupk started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They are here to show themselves in the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister is interested, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. Numbers, in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Ma'ashah means tenth in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whichever so amount you would like to give to the brother, just put it in the envelope, drop it in the donation box with the brother's name on it, and it'll go down the right channels to get to the brother. Upcoming holy convocations is the Passover. We're gonna be down Cocoa Beach, Florida. The Passover is on 15th of April. The Commander General Yohana wants all Israelites to be there. Everybody should come home for the Passover. The week of the Passover, we got some activities going on, like a fish fry, black party, and a rededication to the Lord. So be there for the Lord. It ain't for anybody else but for the Lord. And remind if there's any the summertime's coming up, so the barbecue's coming up. So you check the bulletin board in the back of every school. We'll let you know when to attend. And if any brother want to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, pants, shirt, bandana, or scarf. And with that, men of Israel, we're gonna give courteous salute. Men of Israel, Isupk, Amazon, Barak, Yahweh, Shia, Shabbat, That's my time. Class dismissed.